Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday's market commentary, and I hope you're very well. Um, no trades just yet today, but in light of the big moves that we had yesterday in the pound, this is the hourly chart here. If we go to the daily chart, and you see we had a nice big move there. Now the daily chart's showing that it slammed its head against the 50-day moving average, but on E-signal it's still not up to its 50 yet. So some charting packages can differ. So I'm looking for a potential run just a little bit higher yet. On the pound, and with that in mind, and the fact that we've started to do a bit of a pullback, I'm going to initiate a swing long. So I'm not as fussed here, so about exact entries. I've literally, oh sorry, the time is 10 past 9. I've not even started early this morning, so here's the, for the purposes of the disclosure, here's the only trade I've done here today, which I've just put on this swing long here, and I'm going to initiate. I've only put in with 100,000, so one lot, and look to build this position. If it comes down a little bit more, then I'll build the position down towards today's daily pivot, which is down at 151.70ish. But if we start going up later, then I'll build it on strength as well. So you don't always have to just add in just because it's going down. But I've at least got a position off now, and like I said, I'll add in down in this zone here. It's also where the hourly 50 is down here as well, so I'll look to add in down there. But I won't add in any more than that, so I'll add in one increment down there. Lovely wide stops. I'll put a stop down here somewhere down 50, 150, 80, something like that. Give it plenty of slack. And then watch for it over the coming days, and if it starts to build up back up, then I'll start to add on strength, and that's why I'm playing it. I apologise, sorry, at the moment I've been ill all week. I went down with some sort of, I don't know, I guess it's probably a flu, so not being well all week. And that's the one thing to always consider when you're a trader, is knowing when to trade and when not to trade. And if you're not feeling well, that's one of the times which is a good time not to trade. And so this week I've largely left the markets alone. I mean, I think I've not even made a four-figure sum out of the markets this week. That's how little I've done. I had a couple of trades yesterday, but which were one was a loser, one was a winner, which was nice enough. And I think I've had a couple of few hundred quid elsewhere, but really not really done much. And that's the thing to do. If you're not feeling well, just leave it alone, because your concentration levels aren't going to be quite as good. So with that in mind, I'm not going to do too much talking today, because as you can probably tell, I'm still not feeling great. But what I do want to do is have a quick look through these daily charts for you anyway. So like I've already said, with the pound, let's see if I can extend this line. It's done what I looked at going back a month or more now, when we initially broke through this trend channel line, saying it'll come back into the trend channel and eventually it'll break out the other side. It's exactly what it's doing. It's hitting this daily 50. It's had a lovely big candle yesterday, and I'm just seeing if we can get some more upside out of this. So I'm willing to put 2 units in, the unit I've just put in, and I'll add 1 unit and then put a stop in. I won't add any more than that, but if we go up, then I'll add more. But yeah, so we're looking for a bit more upside on the pound at the moment. What we need to do therefore is go back to those old fibs. So let's bring the Fibonacci retracement lines on again. Just take a rough high to low measurement, and as we can see, we've done the 23% retracement, but we still haven't even done a 38% retracement yet. So that's got to be a target somewhere around about that 154 level. So that's certainly a potential. So if we're going to move higher, obviously if we take out this low here from yesterday, then all bets are off and we're rolling back over again. But for now, then that is a potential on the cards. So that's that. Let's see if I can get rid of this. And the euro obviously did a similar sort of move yesterday, in that it broke out of what, I don't know. It had a nice breakup, and again trend channel wise, it's broken out of that trend channel that it's been in, and so it hasn't been up to test its 50-day moving average yet. So again, that's a potential target for the euro dollar. So unless we take out yesterday's lows, so again, we've got some potential upside targets. Obviously, we've got news out at 1:30 today. I don't think I'm going to be carrying on with the recording for this video update at 1:30 today. I've just put in a trade, but it's not a day trade, so it's not going to be too much to do with it. So it's unlikely. I don't know if I'm going to get any day trades together this morning, but I'll keep looking at it. But I don't know where we'll get to. But anyway, so euro upside potential, 50-day moving average, and then we've got euro yen. Now the euro yen's just had a tremendous move up again. Broke out of that trend channel that had been in all that time, broke down, and has come all the way back up on the Bank of Japan announcements yesterday as regards to its bond purchases. And let's have a look at the dollar yen as well, because that did a similar thing. Look at that. So everyone thought it was all over, and that the yen was going to be starting to move down here, and alas, the central banks said something else now, so we might have another leg higher yet to go on that one, or many more legs higher to go. And let's have a look at the stock market indices, because they have got quite interesting. Let's have a look at the S&P first of all. Now the S&P had a bounce day yesterday. For those of you that don't know, then we should have been not expecting a bounce day, but not surprised by bounce day yesterday. It was a hard down day on Thursday, but then we had a McClellan oscillator reading of -200. There we go, on after Wednesday night. And so, as we know, when it breaches -200, then it's likely you're going to get a bounce the following day, or that we're at least oversold enough to get a bounce. And to watch out for that. So we've put a bit of a bounce in there, and at the moment everybody's jumped on the bandwagon that that's it, the S&P is collapsing, this is it, this is the big retrace, and maybe it is, but at the moment we just got to wait and see what's going to happen and how it's going to react as and when it gets to this lower trend channel line, which has been in place for, as you can see, quite a long time, since November of last year. So that's the important one for us, is to say, okay, well, when we get down to here, how's it going to react? We're going to get another bounce, which is going to take us that final leg up higher, because we haven't quite hit the all-time highs. I think the all-time highs were at 80, and we've hit 1570. So we didn't quite get there, but we certainly did it on a closing basis. So I think it's just a little bit too soon to get too bearish just yet. But certainly, if we start to roll over and the 8 and 21 cross down, then the potential starts to increase that that may be there. But we've also got to navigate this trend channel line, and so again, this should provide some sort of support, and as and when and if price comes down towards that. Now, price could just meander along towards it, and then we'll see how it goes. So at the moment with the S&P, the jury's not quite there yet as regards to whether it is going to just have a massive, I'll say massive, but a move down, which there'd be nothing wrong with that. We've had such a good run, there'd be absolutely nothing wrong with it putting in a decent retracement. We've pretty much hit the all-time highs, not quite, but we pretty much have, so that would be fine. Actually, while we're at it, why don't we put that comparison on again, T21008, and have a look at comparing how that's got on. And I've been talking to you about this for quite a while. Let's put it onto weekly charts and maybe make it a bit easier. How the number of stocks trading above their respective 40-day moving averages back in January and February were up here, and yet, as you can see now, even though the stock markets themselves went higher, the number of stocks participating or trading above their 40-day moving averages is quite a bit lower. So we have got that divergence in place. What I would have rather have seen is, when you see these divergences, is to see like a big key reversal day, and that really gives a good sign. We haven't obviously seen that, but the divergence has been there for quite a while, so we'll see if that's going to play out or not. But for now, the trend is still up, and weakening breadth, yes, but the breadth has been weakening for quite a while. We'll just wait and see, and if we do break this channel, then we know, like with all channels, like then if we go up in this direction for so long, at some point it'll break that channel and it will at least come down the depth of this channel, so something to bear in mind. I'm just going to come back to that cable now, put it back into 5-minute chart, I guess. So I just bought it down there, didn't I? We got filled at 05.2, and we're currently at 06. Wow. Now I'm going to press pause. This is going to take a long time. Really, it's something based on the hourly charts, and so as regards to just watching them, there's no point watching a 5-minute chart because I'm not looking for anything on the 5-minute chart. Target wise, I'm looking for it to come all the way back up and break these highs, so there's nothing for me to do with this at the moment, except if it comes down, then to add a portion when we come down here. Otherwise, be watching it, and if it comes up, then looking for strength to see if I can then add to it. So for now, I'll press pause. Oh, one thing to mention is that, of course, the last Friday live video update we did was I was heading off for a weekend, wasn't I? And it was a Japanese yen trade, and it ended up being a lovely trade. It was about on that positions that we left and put all the limit orders in. Well, put limit orders in, I remember, and left one open, and then had to put a limit order in while I was out to close out the remainder. It was a nice nearly £1,500 trade actually. So again, sometimes it's just nice just leaving a trade alone and letting it do its thing, allowing it to do its thing. And that was another nice Friday video update actually. Well, it wasn't, because I wasn't here to show it, but you guys all could see that if you go back to that Friday video update from 2 weeks ago, I think it was. Then you can see my levels and what I was looking at and where I ran it to. Actually, I ran the final part up to, I can't remember what it was now. What was my entry? Entry was around about 20, and the final part was at 90, so there's 70 pips on the final part anyway. Not really too much going on here. We're in this cable trade. It's running up a bit. It's a 5-minute chart now, but really is nothing to do with it at the moment. It's going to take a long time to do anything. I'm not seeing any opportunities for any day trades at the moment, but we'll just see what happens. And the swing trade, if it gets up there, I could still make £1,000, I guess, out of it. Ultimately, so they're not to be sniffed at. You only put in a small stake initially, but if you can then build it and get the run that you're looking for, then they can still end up being reasonably lucrative. So for now, we'll just see what happens here. I'll press pause for now. Okay, so it's now 10:40 AM, and so we got in down here, didn't we, at 152.05 area, and it's having a good run. I mean, if it was a day trade, that would be a great run, up 30 pips, but it's not a day trade, so it's only just getting going really. Let's actually take this back to an hourly chart, and because I've said that I really want to be looking to add on strength, so where am I going to identify that area? And so really these highs here, as we're approaching these from yesterday's highs, I really want to be looking to add. Looks like yesterday's highs are at 152.45, so I'm going to look to just add a position at 152, probably about 152.48 or something like that, I guess. And what I'm going to do is just literally just add the position there, and then what I'll do is I'll move my stop up to the lows at 152. So by doing that, it means that my original position is near as damn it as close to break even as possible. What I'll do is I'll move the original position to break even at 152.05, and then have the stop on the add-in position at 152. So because we've started to come up, if we then roll over, we roll over, but I won't lose on the original position. I'll only lose on the add-in, and that's only, like I said, 50 pips. 50 pips on the size that I'm putting in is nothing too major. But obviously, if it continues to run and we can get up towards the 153, then I start closing in on that £1,000 target for the overall trade. But like I said, it's it's sorry, I'm not feeling great, and so your concentration levels aren't as good. And like I said earlier on, that's why you don't trade generally. But yeah, and so I then have to start looking at targets. 153 is a target. It's an obvious target, being a round number. Um, but then I go back to the daily charts. Then I've got that 154 zone that I try and run the remainder for. So some really good potential for the trade going into next week. I can't see it all happening today. You never know, but I doubt it. Oops, sorry. Back to an hourly chart. So for now, That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that trade in at 152.48. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just put a limit order in. So let's just put an order in. That's going to buy. Sorry, not a lot limit. Okay, buy stop, and we want to put it in at 152.48. So it's just beyond yesterday's highs. We'll just see what happens. I mean, the problem is sometimes is when you let's have a look there. Place the order. Orders placed, right? So let's actually show you. Make sure that it's over there on the account. So here's the trade we put in this morning at 152.05, and obviously that's where we currently are. And then my open orders, it should be in there. There it is. So buy stop at 152.48. Hopefully you can just about see that. There we go. So that's all there. And if it runs, then it'll end up being it could be a really good trade. So we'll see how that's going to play out. But so what I'm doing is I'm sort of pyramiding in. So it's a side of trade philosophy. So you get into a position where you're up on one position, you want to add to it. You're in the position where you can move your stop up to break even, because we've come up to those and breached those prior highs, which is obviously what will happen if we can get up to that 152.30.45 zone. Then you can move my stop up on the original position, so that position I can't lose on. I'll only lose on the add-in. But if it continues to run, then I get a Brucey bonus. So that's the design philosophy behind the trade. Anyway, for now I'll press pause. Okay, it's 20 past 11. I'm going to get this video out to you because I'm not going to be day trading today. So this is where we are on cable. We're still sitting up around this zone. We haven't quite got up to that 40 odd level that I was looking at. 48 as yet. We've got to just 152.40, 41 zone. We're still sitting up around there. We're in 34 at the moment. So like I said, I've got the position in. We'll add if it gets. I've got that limit order in to add, and if it runs, then it'll be still be a 4-digit trade. If it runs up in past 153 and heads up to 154, it could be a £1,500 trade, which is a nice trade as a swing trade. You don't need to have huge positions on, but you know, I initiated it with a wider stop. But you don't need to have big positions on because you're trying to run it for more points. Anyway, we'll see how that gets on. Sorry there's no day trades today, and hopefully I'm feeling better in the coming days and get back to some normality next week. Have a great weekend.